I want to introduce a guy, Randall Scott. Come on up here, buddy. He's got a story to tell you about Davy. He knows Davy personally. Personal story. Randall Scott.
Thank you. I had the great pleasure to perform Daydream Believer last year here, or this past March. Really was cold, wasn't it? But anyway, I have a story to tell about Davy Jones from a humanitarian side. He answered an ad in a shopper, I would say, a little more than 4 years ago, to buy a washer. And obviously I live in Northumberland, and he calls me up and he says, "Are you the guy that has a shopper, a washer for sale?" And I said, "Yeah." "Do you still have it?" I said, "Yeah." He said, "Would you take a check?" I said, "No, sir, cash is king in my world." And he said, "Well, I'd have to go to the bank." He said, "I just got done feeding the horses, and I'm a really busy guy." He never told me who he was. "And I just got done giving my daughter a kidney a week before that, down in Hershey. And she was not doing very well, so I really wanted to go down there." But he said, "Could you give me some time?" And I said, "Yeah, but we got to do it now." I said, "Because I have to go down and see my daughter." And he said, "Okay." So I met him and I showed him this washer, and he's talking to me. And I'm thinking and looking. I said, "Can I ask you a question?" He said, "Yeah." I said, "Are you Davy Jones of the Monkees?" He said, "Yeah, I am." I said, "What the Sam hell are you doing buying a washer?" A used one at that. He said, if I had as much money as everyone thought I had, I would buy a new one." So anyway, I asked him if he would sign some autographs, and he did that, and I took him down to my daughter, and that really picked her day up. She lost that kidney, and 9 months later I was diagnosed with chronic kidney disease with the one I have left, which I still have chronic kidney disease. But at the end of the day, he was really great to her. He did a lot for her. He called her when they were going to take the kidney back out that I had given her. About a couple hours before that, she was having a bad day, and he called me, and I gave her the phone, and he talked to her, and that just picked her right up immensely. And I'm here to tell you what a great human being Davy Jones was for my daughter and for me. Davy Jones was a great humanitarian. I know what a lot of the local stories had around with Davy Jones, but so what? At the end of the day, we're only human beings. We all make mistakes, but he was a great guy. He did an awesome thing for us. He actually then afterwards gave me a call and said, "Could I be in a movie?" And I said, "Well, sure." But I thought he was calling me back the next day to say the washer didn't work. And he wanted his money back, but that's not what he called for. But he put me in a movie, and then he let me open up for him, and I'm probably was told by a photographer that goes to a lot of his concerts, he brought me back up after I opened up for him to help him sing Daydream Believer with him. So, and he even gave me a whole verse. Let's give a big hand to Davy Jones. I want people to know what a great guy Davy Jones was as a human being, as well as the talent that he had. He was an awesome guy. I'm putting a fundraiser together at Splash Magic Mountain Campground. I need a band, so if somebody would like to participate in this event, awesome. If not, that's okay. But let's give Davy a big hand one more time for being a great guy, a great humanitarian, and I love Davy Jones. Let's give a hell yeah, we love Davy Jones. All right, thank you. And let's thank these guys here for a great job.
All right, I think we found the guy we were looking for earlier. Are you ready for more musical entertainment? Mr. Chris Pick.
Well, as Davy would always say when he came to the stage, are there any monkey fans out there today? Okay, Are there any fans out there that actually grew up with the Monkey Show? So did I, with the reruns. And actually, it's interesting. When I was a little kid, my parents would actually rock me to sleep in more ways than one by singing like Elvis songs to me. And I remember when I was 4 years old, my mother got me a Sesame Street record player. And she gave me permission to actually go through and steal her record. I mean, actually borrow her records. And one of the records I actually found was a Monkees record by, it's called Valerie. And I found out in her collection she actually had quite a few more too, including Daydream Believer, I'm a Believer, and quite a few other ones. And I walked in one day when my father was watching the Monkees TV show, and I made the connection when I heard him singing I'm a Believer on the show. And I became a huge Monkee fan from the age of 4 on. And I fell in love with Davy's music. Just something about the way he sang, and I miss that today. And there's something about the way that he even wrote music. He was so poetic. And it's no coincidence that his very last song that he recorded and released was called Written in My Heart, because that's how he wrote. And here's a song, when he was back in 1993, he got really creative with writing music. And he started working on a project here in Beavertown. And on that project, he wrote some of his most personal songs, including this one, one of my favorites.
I love your cover. I have it saved.
Gonna be love, oh, we would be together. Gonna be love, oh, we wouldn't be apart. Gonna be love, love stays with you forever. But it was love that broke my heart. Kissed me in a long time. We hardly ever would make love. For a while I thought she had another. But it really doesn't matter now. Life has just begun. You're gonna be in love. Oh, we were here together. Gonna be in love. Wouldn't be apart. Could've been love. Love stays with you forever. But it was love that broke my heart.
That's mine. I know. Oh.
The stars were lit when we went walking. We held hands. Your arms never ever reached out to hold. My heart broke in two, you know. I didn't understand, so it couldn't have been love. Oh, we would be together. Couldn't have been love. Oh, we wouldn't be apart. Couldn't have been love. Love stays with you forever. But it was love that broke my heart. And all this time we spent together, it's a lesson that we both learned so well. My love, you and I once were lovers. You can leave each other now, find somebody else, so it couldn't have been love. Oh, we would be together, couldn't have been love. Oh, we wouldn't be apart, couldn't have been love. Love stays with you forever, but it was love that broke my heart. Oh, yeah.
know, the very first Monkey album I ever bought was an obscure Rhino record from 1982, and it was called Monkey Business. That was the album where I fell in love with all Davy's songs, because on that album you had great songs like It's Nice to Be With You, Someday Man, She Hangs Out. And one of my favorites, which I didn't realize at the time was a rarity on that album, was a song written by Neil Diamond called Love to Love. And I got a chance to know quite a few friends of David's, including in the band, and one guy that I used to do a lot of shows with who couldn't be here tonight, his name is Johnny J. Blair. And when Johnny and I would actually do a lot of gigs together, this is one we actually used to do. And since he's not here tonight, I thought about doing this one as kind of a little tribute to Davy, and for my good friend Johnny who couldn't be here. And as you know, as Davy would always say, you know Neil Diamond, he only had one hit, he just kept retitling it. And I think that one hit was in the key of E minor.
Yes.
That needs one to thrive on, and then it grows. At least that's what I've been told. You can love someone if you find that, and all you get is return is a heart that's cold. And they say you need love to love. You gotta have love to love. They all say that way, but if it's true, why do I love you? Why do I love you? You keep saying that you're trying to break me. You're doing things designed just to make me cry. That if one lips won't touch you, love won't grow no matter how much you try. And they say you need love to love. You gotta have love to love. They all say it works that way, but if it's true, why do I love you? Why do I love you? Say you need love, you gotta have love. They all say it works that way, but if it's true, why do I love you? Why do I love you?
Chris Pick, ladies and gentlemen, let's hear it for Chris. Thank you, Chris. Great to see you, my friend. And now we have a quick announcement from Miss Alexis Rigby.
Hi. So I'm here to announce that over at the stand right to your right, Karen Burns, she's the owner of Karen's Sweet Celebrations, and she's selling these really awesome like candy bars, but they're not really candy bars, just a piece of cardboard. She's going to be selling them on eBay starting with number 1 on eBay on June 16th. It'll be listed under the seller name of Stick69 on eBay. She's also going to be selling the sign that is on display today at her booth, where she is selling the 2013 celebration of the Life of Davy Jones keepsake bars. She's created one large one that all of the Jones girls have signed, and it will be on eBay, and it will be auctioned off on Monday. All of the money from the sales on eBay will be divided equally between the Beavertown Historical Society, the Davy Jones Memorial Foundation, and the Davy Jones Statue Fund. So, they're really awesome. So, you know, they're only $4. Go buy one. They're limited, so.
All set? Thank you, Alexis. Thank you, Alexis. Okay, so Beavertown, this beautiful, beautiful place here, Beavertown, that Davy Jones called his home. And I remember the first time I came to Beavertown back in around September of '95. I was just blown away driving in, just seeing these beautiful mountains, and I could tell driving in, even though I hadn't been to England before, that this is kind of what England looked like. And sure enough, when I went to England, I was right. Parts of England look just like it here. So I could see why Davy made this beautiful, beautiful town its home. And I remember arriving here with my bandmate Jerry and Wayne. I think Wayne was here. It might have been VJ. But anyway, the friends that Davy introduced to us from this town have been so generous and so wonderful that it's just a beautifully tight-knit community that they have here. And it just, everybody here just sort of makes you feel at home. And that's one of the reasons I'm sure Davy absolutely loved it here. I know he loved Florida in the summer for the heat, but I'm telling you, he loved Beavertown as his home. He was so great to be here, sitting in the house in front of the fire, playing guitars and singing along. But one of my first memories, which I'd like to share with you, is Davy liked to go exploring. He always had this thing. He always wondered what it would be like. He always wondered what the first people that ever came here saw.
He's like, man, I mean, there was no roads, no houses, no nothing. I mean, what were they doing? I mean, what were they thinking?
So he liked to just go off into the woods and explore. So he took us for a walk in the woods, just a little hike at the end of Center Street. And we're walking, we're pretty deep in the thick of the woods. And I thought I'd catch his attention, and I did by saying, "Oh, cool, is that a bear?" He was like, he really freaked out. But the funniest thing was, I like to make him laugh, so it was kind of chilly out, and there was a bunch of dead trees in the middle of the forest. So I had my leather jacket on. As you can see, I'm a pretty big guy. So I saw this dead tree, and I said, "Hey man, I bet you I could take that tree out, just by tackling it." It was probably 10 foot tall, but it was dead. So
he's like, "I'd like to see that, man."
So yeah, I got a running start. I bounced off the first time, and they started laughing, but I could feel it giving and cracking. So I did it again. I did it the fifth time. I knocked that tree over. I broke it. I knocked it down, and they were laughing in hysterics on the floor, cracking up. So I thought I was the shit, this was like my in. So we're walking around a little further, and I see another tree, a little shorter, but it definitely looked dead. And I said, "Hey, let me try that again." So as I'm running from 20 feet away, as I get close, I notice that the bottom is rotted out. So when I hit it, that thing just gave, and my momentum just carried me another 5 feet, somersaulting. I didn't expect it, they didn't expect it. He was just rolling with laughter. But whenever we came back to Beavertown, it was inspirational for Davy. He wrote lots of many beautiful songs out here, and the people are just awesome. So as much as you can come and visit Beavertown, I recommend it. It's so pretty, and we're trying hopefully get the church up and running someday. It'll happen to be a great little attraction, seeing all the memorabilia that's around that Davy had. So, and also I just wanted to give a shout out to the girls back there working hard. Hi, girls.
Hi, girls. Can you hear me back there? Everybody thought I was dead. But I'm not.
Just kidding. I think Mickey Dolan said it best, that the children reflect their father, and you've never met four of the most beautiful, gracious women in your life than Talia, Sarah, Jessica, and Annabelle. I love you, girls. So, alright, on with some more music for you guys. I talked about inspiration. Davy inspired a lot of us, young, old generation. We're all kids at heart. Davy brought out the best in all of us, I think. And one of his inspirations is here to tell you a little story. She's from somewhere in Pennsylvania. Hayden? Anyways, I'd like to welcome Miss Alexandra Amorine.
Hi everyone. First off, I want to say it's great to see a lot of the same people back from last year. I had the great opportunity of being able to speak last year as well. But for those of you who don't know my story, my name is Alexandra Amorine. I'm going to be 19 in August. And Davy Jones has been the ultimate inspiration in my life. I'm an aspiring performer, and his graciousness, how professional he was, just everything about him as a person and a performer is something that I really strive for and that I really try to emulate. I was given the great opportunity to dance with Davy on stage at the Hershey concert of June 2011. How could I forget that? And then I was able to meet him again in September of 2011. And one of the greatest things he ever told me was just to always take chances and go out on a limb, even if you're afraid of what's going to happen, because it'll always serve you right in the end. And I've followed that a lot of ways in the past couple of years. And I think one of the greatest things is that I get to perform here, because performing every time is taking a chance. You don't know how the audience is going to react. You don't know if there are going to be any malfunctions. So I'm following his advice and taking a limb today and performing. I'll be singing a song called It's Not Too Late from the Justice album. Yes, it's my favorite Davy song because, as I'm sure most of you know, he wrote it. It's straight from Davy's heart. Everything about it just says Davy. And I was first introduced to this song by my friend Amy Gaetana, who unfortunately could not make it today. But it was shortly after Davy's death, and it just had such an impact on me, and I hope I can share that impact with you guys today. If I had a penny for every time that I thought about you, I would be a millionaire. I would send you flowers each day, and I would show you in every way just how much I really care. love affair. We'll go together everywhere. Our love will last until the end of time. You know our future and your feelings, and the love that I have for you. They're always in my heart, they're on my mind. A never-ending love affair. We'll go together everywhere. Our love will last until the end of time. It's not too late to turn this ship around, to sail into the wind, my love, before we run around. It's not too late to say that I love you, and it's not too late for you, my love, to say you love me too. It's not too late to turn this ship around, sail into the wind, my love, before we run around. It's not too late to say that I love you, and it's not too late for you, my love, to say you love me too. It's not too late, it's not too late to turn this ship around.
Alexandra Eberine. Remember that name, folks. Thank you so much. That was wonderful. Gorgeous. And now, more inspiration of the younger generation. Ladies and gentlemen, may I present Mrs. Jennifer Alexander. No, the other one.
Alright, well hello everyone. I guess I was a fan of Oliver for years before I even knew what the Monkees was. And I have always loved the Artful Dodger, one of my favorite characters, so I thought that we would do a song from Oliver. Consider yourself. Consider yourself at home. Consider yourself part of the family. We're thanking you so strong. It's clear we're going to get along. Consider yourself well in. Consider yourself part of the furniture. We're thanking you so strong. It's clear we're going to get along. It's a chance that we should see some holidays, empty holidays, boy crowds, and some chance for me, somebody to put the bill, that the drinks are on the house. Consider yourself well in, we're going to have mad fun, for of some consideration we can stay. Consider yourself one of us. It's clear we're going to get along. Consider yourself well in. We're going to have mad fun. For of some consideration we can stay. Consider yourself one of us.
Thank you very much, Jennifer. That was lovely. What's next? Are you having fun yet?
A beautiful day. Beautiful day. All right. It is time for another musical act. It's time for the meanie.
It's gonna be a couple minutes.
It's going to be a couple of
Yes.
minutes. All right. I want to remind you that you can go up there, get Davy Jones merchandise, and help out the Equine Memorial Fund up in the far end of that pavilion. Also the candy bars, and another reminder about the postage stamps. Trying to get a petition going. There is a petition going to get Davy Jones on a U.S. postal stamp. So you can find Jerry. There's over here. You can sign over here. Sign the petition, and we'll be with you in a moment.
Yeah, me too. Yeah, right?
right.